So it has been a pretty long time since I have done a quick tarot. With COVID and everything that's been going on, it has been absolutely insane. Lots of change, lots of things happening. Nothing major or significant. Like Rook and I are fine. No issues there. We're good. We did have a quarantine thing for a minute, but it's been too long since I have done a quick tarot. I've continued doing tarot kind of in my personal life, but haven't really done one here, and I want to do that. I am thinking about doing or renaming this and not calling it quick tarot, because it's not really quick tarot, it's just tarot. Granted, they're 15 minutes, and usually a tarot read is a lot longer than that. But anyway, I wanted to get back into the swing of things, so we are going to do tarot. Now, being that so much has changed and so many things have happened, I'm going to keep it small on the number of cards, maybe 3 to 5 cards. We'll see how we feel. But I really have a couple of questions this time. And it's not just what are the energies that are going on right now, but, how do we as fellows work towards being better? How can we make 2022 be better? And for this upcoming week or two, maybe even a little bit longer, what energies do we need to pull in that are really going to make a difference or an impact on our own lives and those around us? I have been feeling not as great as I normally have felt with work. Like I'm not doing enough. I've been very self-limiting lately. I've judged myself a lot more than I normally do. And I think some self-assessment is really important, but it's been different. I'm being very hard on myself. I'm not feeling quite as happy as I have. Am I doing things the way that I want to do them versus the way I think other people want me to do them, right? So I think this hopefully will speak to you as far as a read goes, because I am asking energy to come in, not just for me, but for anybody who may be watching. What is it that we can pull from the energies in the next few weeks that's really going to make an impact? I am going to use the Enchanted Forest deck today. I've used it the last few times I've done reads. I feel very connected to it. I like the deck. It's very earth-oriented, and I'm feeling that need to get back into some of the things that make me happy and whole, that revolve around nature and revolve around that connectedness and paying attention to the world around. So I hope the read speaks to you and gives you some input and direction on where we can spend some of our energy. So with that, we'll get started. And like I said, we're just going to pull energy cards. We're not looking in place. We're not doing any massive spreads or anything. We're just going to pull a couple because we need some information. We need to know. We need to know. So let's see what we get. All right, first we have the Ace of Boons, followed by Sunlight and the Major Arcana. And then we have the Ten of Visions. So this deck is very green, right? I'll put a couple pictures up as I always do. But really, one of the important things is to look at colors and trends. If you're learning to do it, then you might want to pay attention to those colors. But this is a very, very green deck. And really what I mean by that is the color. So when we're looking at images and we're looking at colors and we're trying to figure out really what it is that it means. So we're going to look at, what really is showing itself through the patterns and colors. And in these cards, we're seeing a lot of patterns, which is important. But let's start with the Ace of Boons. Now, boons are in this deck really pinnacles, okay? And so our pinnacles really give us that grounding purpose. This is talking about going back to the start. Really making sure that you're connecting to that grounding, that nature, that full force that is underneath us, and that we need to go back to that, and we need to reconnect. Even if you are the most connected person that has ever existed, you need to go back to your initials and your initial connection, and get that grounding back. Because right now, what the world needs is that more than anything. I don't know about anybody watching, but for me, that lack of grounding has really shown itself, and I can definitely feel this. The second card that we have is the Sunlight. This is a Major Arcana card. It is way towards the end of the Major Arcana, and to me it is a beautiful card showing that we're going to need to pull in positive things and pull in the sunlight to help keep our personal buckets filled in a way that can help us grow and give that back to other people. It's not just about being positive. There's balance. Things are going to suck. There is no sunlight without shadow. If you're standing in it, there's a shadow. That's how this works. But we really have to pull in the sun and what the sun represents. These are the father, the masculine strength energy, and not strength as in like, feminine is not strong and masculine is strong, but the strength of magnanimity, if that's even a word. But pull in the effervescence of the sunlight. Sunlight is what drives plants to photosynthesize. It creates sugar through the plant. It's transformative. It heats us when we're cold. It lets us see when we cannot otherwise see in the dark. So sunlight is really where we need to focus and pull in energy right now, more than anything. There is a time for shadow work. There is a time for looking into the depths, and that time is when you need it. But in order for us to focus and move forward, we definitely need to pull in some sunlight energy. The third card that I've pulled so far is the Ten of Visions. And visions, it's... Well, first, let's talk about the numerology of 10. So that to me, and I do follow kind of a numerological path in some cases or some ways. But for me, numerology is pretty important. And 10s, when you're in the any arcana, but minor arcana, you're really going from it's like a journey. The major arcana is the major journey, and the minor are the minor secrets, the minor journey. But each suit has its journey and its path. And if you're in the 10th level of that 10-step path, which is kind of how I look at it, then you're really looking towards the end of that path or having successfully completed that path. And the visions represent cups. So, standard you'd say emotions, but really the energy we're talking about is let's pull in some water energy. So we're going to pull in some fire with the sun, that beaming creation energy from the sun, and really start looking at how we're going to, and I should mention too, that's from the sun, and then from the pentacles, that's the earth energy. So now you have earth, fire, and now we're moving on to water. So the other energy we're going to pull from is that water. And from the 10, it's saying pull in calm water. We're not raging rapids right now. This is, this has been a fulfilling path that we've been on. It has been hard and stressful, and our emotions get tangled up. But right now, let's pull in the calming waters, the trickle of the brook that's in the middle of the forest that you can calmly bring in and say, you know what? I can breathe. I have focus, and we're going to balance those energies. And it's going to be very important that we do this in a way that represents where we're headed. When we had our last reading on one of our other channels, we talked about, what do we do to manifest this year? And what is 2022 about? Well, 2022 is not about progressing in the sense of going from A to B. It's about lining up everything that we're going to need to get to point B and then executing. So this is a organizational year of energy. It is putting the pieces in the right place. It is taking action, but that action is planning and putting things where they need to be so you can go to the next step. So if we look at it through that lens, then our Ace of Boons or our Ace of Pentacles is saying, Start back at the grounding, get grounded, ground. Next couple weeks, ground, do your grounding exercises, put your feet in the ground, go out barefoot, ground. Bring in that energy. The sunlight is telling you from the major arcana, this is fine, this is good. We pull in sun energy, this fire. We're going to use that grounding to keep us tethered, and we're going to let the sun warm our faces, and we're going to put things in place and have them set so that when we release the tension, it's going to shoot to the next part we're trying to get to, and we're going to make it. And then our water energy from the Ten of Visions, or Ten of Cups, as you might recognize it at, is saying, pull in that water energy to keep things calm, floating, trickling, nothing crazy, but even when you feel your emotions bubbling up or things coming out of that, calm them down, bring in that calm water energy, let the water wash away those things that are holding you in frustration or anger or fear, and let them go. So for the next couple of weeks, it is all about balance. The only energy we didn't specifically see here is air. And I read things that aren't here just as much as I read what is. So if air is missing, this is saying to me, don't overthink this week. This is not a gut feeling week. This is a or 2 weeks, however long. There's no time limit, but air's not present in this read. So right now the message doesn't include air. And so it is saying to let go the overthinking, let go of the gut feeling. Don't do things on a whim. Do them from a grounded, from a warm, and from a calm perspective. So that's the read that I have. I apologize that it's been so long since we have done one. We were doing really good there for a while, doing them weekly, and life just got kind of crazy. So I hope you enjoy. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have anything you would like to add, I want to hear them. Post them down at the bottom. I don't know where that accent came from, but put your comments on. If you like something that I do, say it. If you don't like it, say it. Just don't be a dick about it. And share your thoughts. So anyway, hope you guys have a great next couple of weeks, and I hope you learn how to bring that energy in and keep it calm for you, and I hope this does you some good. Thanks. Have a great one.